All right, what's up, guys? Today I'm giving you my first impressions on the brand new Thrive Project Fury. I'm going to summarize this video very simply for you. This is essentially a Joola Pro 4 if you just went ahead and added fiberglass to the paddle and then turned it into a hybrid shape. And if you look at the x-rays on screen right now, you can see why I would say that. The internals of these paddles are essentially identical. The only area that I'm really able to tell a big difference is that they added their own internal weighting in the bottom corners where that extra foam is. Though I will say the area that they placed it, it probably could have been placed a little bit better if they're really trying to boost the stability. The closer you get the weights to the center, the less it impacts the twist weight. The further away you get, the more it impacts it. So I feel like if they just literally put it on the other side of the foam or near the edge guard, it probably would have boosted the stability a little bit more. But it doesn't really matter that much. The paddle still plays great. The sweet spot is fine, but that was just an interesting observation. So yeah, after you see that, you can probably see why I would say this is basically just a Pro 4 with fiberglass in it. This is using a carbon fiber fiberglass carbon fiber layup, whereas I believe the Joolas are only carbon fiber. And as for the rest of the specs, the price of this paddle is $199, and after discount code PB Studio, that will drop it down to $180. One of the areas that Thrive kind of differentiates themselves from all the other companies is that you're actually able to select the swing weight of the paddle you're buying. So if you pick up a Project Fury, you can actually pick between a swing weight range of 111 to 113, which isn't that big of a range, and you might think, well, what's the point in selecting? And the nice thing is, if you were going to stick with multiple Thrive paddles, you can now always get the same exact swing weight. Within Pickleball, there's always a range of swing weight, right? If you watch a video, you might see 107 to 112. That means if you got a light paddle, could be 107. If you got a heavy one, it might be 112. And if you're gonna get multiple, having ones that are off by that much can be really annoying for customizing your paddle. So it is pretty cool that Thrive offers you the ability to select the same swing weight every single time. And then the last thing that is really worth mentioning is that the warranty on this paddle is only 6 months, and you get 2 replacements within that 6 months. And if you compare that to Joola, you get 1 year after registering your paddle through the app, and then you get up to 3 replacements. And this is going to be a theme throughout the video about whether or not the Thrive Project Fury is better for you or the Joola Pro 4. Because while the Thrive Project Fury is $100 cheaper after a discount code, you are also getting a worse warranty. And for some people, that might matter a lot. So the selling points of the Thrive Project Fury over the Joola are 1, that it's cheaper, 2, the Thrive Project Fury comes in a hybrid shape, and Joola doesn't offer one of those, and 3, the Project Fury is more poppy and louder than the Pro 4. Louder, I suppose, isn't really a selling point, but the extra pop might be. And that extra pop is just coming from the fiberglass. When hitting them both side by side, I really wouldn't call the Joola a soft feeling paddle. If you've heard me talk about it in other videos, you've heard me say that it has more of a crisp feedback, the pop is more immediate, but when you put it side by side, the Project Fury is even stiffer. The pop feels quicker, it feels more aggressive, and that's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It's really just going to depend on the person. Personally, I really like how it felt. I think it made the paddle feel very fun. It made it feel very aggressive, especially at the net if you were going to hit a flick or just try and attack someone in a hands battle. But for everyone, that may not necessarily be a better thing, because that extra pop is also going to make it harder to reset than on the Joola. So I would say, generally speaking, if you're someone who likes paddles with fiberglass and you like that it becomes more poppy, then the Thrive Project Fury might be more appealing to you. But if you haven't really been someone that loves the feeling of fiberglass and that extra pop, then you might want the Joola. But overall, the playability between these two paddles is very similar. I really just think the Fury is basically, if you just took a Pro 4, tuned it up a little bit to make it more aggressive and throw it in a hybrid shape, that's what you got here. Now, I do want to talk about some of the downsides that I think this paddle is going to have, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. First is that warranty, like I already mentioned. With Joola, you're getting 3 replacements and up to a 1-year warranty, and on the Project Fury, you're only getting 6 months and 2 replacements. So for some of you out there, that extra $100 might be worth the longer warranty that Joola is going to offer. But for some of you out there who don't use a paddle for more than 3 or 6 months, you just might not care, and you'd rather pocket the extra money and just play with this. I can't really answer which one of those is better for you, because it's just going to depend on the type of person you are. If you're someone who tends to stick with a paddle for a long time, I'd probably go with the Joola Pro 4. If you switch really frequently, then yeah, the Thrive Project Fury would probably be worth the money savings. And the other downside is going to be that this is almost certainly going to have the same issue that the Pro 4s have, which is to say they core crush eventually. They're both built almost identical, and if Joola hasn't been able to figure out the core crushing problem, I'm not super optimistic that Thrive is going to have that figured out. And one of the other things that makes me wonder about the potential durability of these is we have 2 units right here, and one of them out of the box actually came with a rattle. This is actually the one that I've been hitting for only about 3 hours, and it did develop a rattle. And then here's the second one, which is louder out of the box. Now, is anything broken in this paddle? No, probably not. Almost any time there's a rattle, it's just some loose glue in the paddle. It's not going to impact the performance. Everything's usually fine. But when both of my units do that in a first impressions video, and one of them came like that out of the box, that's not exactly a rave sign for quality control or durability. So at best, this is going to have the same durability of a Joola Pro 4, which is to say that if you're a heavy hitter, you love to bang the ball, which is probably why you're buying a paddle like this anyways, then at best it's going to match the Joola. But worst case scenario, it could be a little bit worse. So that to me is the two main downsides that you might encounter with this paddle. So if you're someone who wanted a Joola Pro 4, but you just wanted it turned up a notch in terms of aggressiveness, Thrive Project Fury is going to give it to you. And it also gives it to you in a cheaper package. But I don't think that more pop is better for everyone. That is going to mean your dinks and blocks and resets are going to be harder to control. But if you are a person who likes to try and play very aggressive and overwhelm your opponents at the net, I do think that the Fury will do that better than the Joola. So overall, I really like the Thrive Project Fury. I think it's a great paddle, but it's a great paddle in the way that the Joola Pro 4 already was. If you own a Pro 4, I probably wouldn't go and buy this unless you just really love the hybrid shape and you're frustrated that Joola doesn't have one. This is the inevitable cycle of pickleball. One company comes out with a technology that everyone likes, and then everyone tries to lower the price on that same technology and try and capture some of the magic that that company already had, which is great for the consumer, but like I said, you're going to have to weigh whether or not the lower warranty is worth it for you or not. So anyways, hope that video helped, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.